I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. This is a book that I recently finished reading, and it has been a long time since I've read a book like this. It literally kept me entertained from beginning to end. It had so much valuable information, and I couldn't stop reading it. I think I finished it in about a week. That's how entertaining and good this book was. I'm going to explain to you in very simple terms what this book is about and what I learned. What is going on? Welcome to the Flaming Profits YouTube channel, where we teach you how to become a more profitable investor in the stock market. Everything financial related, we are the channel for you. What in the world are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, and if you're not subscribed yet, join the Flaming Profits Army. We have a lot of videos with a lot of valuable information for you. So you might be wondering, why should you read this book? Why am I even reviewing books on a financial channel? That doesn't make any sense. But it actually makes a lot of sense. I really like this quote that says, "You cannot decide your future, but your habits can decide your future for you." I really like this quote because this is so true. If you examine the habits of really successful people who are basically billionaires, the top, let's say 5 billionaires, they all have one thing in common. And that is that they are constantly reading and learning. And like Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. Bill Gates is known to read 50 books per year, nearly one per week. And if you take a look at the Netflix documentary of Bill Gates, he even takes vacations to read. Can you imagine that? Taking a vacation to read books? It might seem crazy to a lot of people, but Bill Gates actually does this. And he's definitely one of the richest people in the world. So we have to pick up on these habits. This shouldn't just be something that wealthy people do. We should be doing it as well. That way we can become wealthy. Warren Buffett, he's known for his habit of reading. He takes this habit to the extreme. He reads between 600 to 1,000 pages per day. That is insane. He says he devotes pretty much almost all of his day to reading. Elon Musk grew up reading books. Mark Cuban reads more than 3 hours per day. The co-founder of Home Depot reads 2 hours a day. So it's very common for billionaires to always be reading. So I think it's essential for you to constantly be learning like this. And that's kind of why I constantly read. Now, before we get to reviewing the book, I do want to share some amazing links for free money. I love giving you the opportunity to get free money and free stocks. M1 Finance, an amazing brokerage that I use, they're going to give you $10 for you to begin investing with them. Robinhood, my favorite brokerage, they're going to give you a free stock as soon as you sign up. There is absolutely no reason why you should not take the free money and free stocks. You can sell out anytime and just take out the money or stocks into your bank account. WeBull will give you 2 free stocks. So that's crazy. You're going to have 3 free stocks if you use the links in the description. I would absolutely take advantage of all these opportunities. And then the Discover Secure credit card. This is one of my favorite cashback credit cards. They're going to give you $50 just for signing up. That means $50 of free spending money plus 1 to 2% cashback on every single purchase. You should definitely try this out. It's absolutely free money. No reason why not to do it. I've gotten this $50 sign-up bonus myself, and I really enjoy that. And it'll also help your credit history. So, yeah, there you go. All this is in the description. So let's get to reviewing the book. This is an article I found, and it pretty much sums up everything really well. So I'm just going to go through the main points and give you my input on the book. So if we were to sum up the book in one sentence, it would go like this. I Will Teach You to Be Rich is about how to earn more, save more, and live a rich life. It has generally 5 big ideas that it covers. Number 1, you don't need to be an expert to get rich. A lot of people think that you need to be very special and being very intelligent to become rich, but this is absolutely not true. It's actually something that's very simple. Most of it is just hard work and dedication. Number 2, but you do need to get started early. Yes, so you need to be dedicated. As early as you find out about this stuff, you need to be taking action. Number 3, spend extravagantly on the things you love and cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't. I really like this point because There's a lot of financial gurus that tell you to not spend money on things, but actually, I love the approach that Ramit takes on this. He really likes to emphasize that you should spend a lot of money on the things that you like. Like if you enjoy taking vacations, it's your life. Enjoy your life and your money. You should be spending a lot on vacations if you enjoy that. Do you enjoy going out to eat to different restaurants? Then go and spend a lot of money doing that. You should spend a lot of money on things that you love and cut costs on things that you don't. So if you don't really care about having good quality phone service, why are you spending so much money on that? Instead, spend more on restaurants, which is something that you actually enjoy. This makes a lot of sense, and there's no reason why you should limit yourself on things that you actually really enjoy. Number 4, use money to design your rich life. Number 5, there's a limit to how much you can cut, but no limit on how much you can earn. Yeah, all of this is very true. So, a quick summary of I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Invisible scripts are the messages you've observed from your parents and society that guide your decisions, often without your knowledge. A lot of the times you don't realize that you have and follow these invisible scripts, but the more time you spend understanding and realizing that you're following the scripts without realizing it, the better it is to fix that mistake you're making. So for example, you're throwing money away on rent. This is not necessarily always true. Credit cards are a scam. You might have heard this from your parents. Money changes people. But none of this is actually true. It's just things that people have told you all their life, and you came to believe that at some point, and now you take it as facts. But if you take a look and actually examine all these invisible scripts that you have, they're actually not serving you and are basically changing the way you think in a negative way. Ramit does a great job of explaining that most of us fall into two camps regarding money. We either ignore it and feel guilty, or we obsess over financial details by arguing interest rates and geopolitical risk without taking action. And if you think about it, both of these are actually not helping you in any way. People love arguing minor points, partially because they feel it absolves them from actually having to do anything. Doing something is a lot better than not doing anything. So there's no point in obsessing over the details if you're not actually taking action and making changes in your financial life. You don't need to be an expert to become rich. The single most important thing you can do to be rich is to start early. In relationships and work, we want to be better than average. In investing, average is great. A lot of people try to do these fancy things to get high rate of returns. But if you just simply do the average, you're doing phenomenal. The key messages of I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Number 1, getting started is the most important thing than becoming an expert. So becoming an expert doesn't really matter. The most important thing is just starting, because a lot of people don't even start on these things. Just by you starting, you're already being above and beyond most people. Number 2, understanding that it's okay to make mistakes. This is all a journey. You're never going to be perfect, but all that matters is that you start and that you continually learn. Number 3, spending extravagantly on the things you love and cutting costs mercilessly on the things you don't, also known as conscious spending. Yeah, so like I said, I really love this point that he makes. Number 4, realize there's a difference between sexy and being rich. 5, not living in the spreadsheet. 6, playing offense, not defense. And 7, using money to design your rich life. He also discusses what exactly does it mean to be rich. And this actually depends on who you are and what your beliefs are. But basically, Sethi considers himself rich now because he's able to make career decisions because he wants to, not because of money. Imagine if you get a job where you actually want to work, not even considering the paycheck, just because you like working in that certain type of environment or with that certain company. You're not even considering money, it's just something that you like. He helps his parents with their retirement so they don't have to work if they don't want to. So this is something that makes him consider himself rich. He's able to spend extravagantly on the things he loves and be relentless, frugal on the things he doesn't. A rich life means you can spend things that you love as long as you cut costs mercilessly on the things that you don't. Focus on the big wins, the 5 to 10 things that get you disproportionate results, including automating your savings and investing, finding a job you love, and negotiating your salary. Get the big wins right, and you can order all the lattes you want. So, yeah, I really like this concept. A lot of people focus on very small details that will not make a big impact in your life. But if you just focus on big wins financially, you won't even have to stress out about a lot of things. Just focus on 4 to 5 things. And if you get those 4 to 5 things, you're going to be really well off financially without worrying about all the details. Investing should be boring and profitable over the long term. So investing is not something that should be sexy. It's something that's very boring and dry. And that's the way it should be. There's a limit to how much you can cut, but not a limit on how much you can earn. Yeah, I think this is a very good point. Build a collection of spending frameworks to use when deciding and buying something. For example, Ramit's book buying rule. Sometimes the most advanced thing you can do is the basics consistently. Oh, and the book buying rule is basically if you see a book that might add value to your life, buy it, because the price you pay for a book is very, very small to how much it can change your life by something, even just one thing that you learn from a book. So you should always buy the book if it's something that could help you. Having a good credit score is important because it makes you less risky to lenders, meaning they can offer you a better interest rate on loans. This is why it's important to start learning the credit game. If you're booking travel or eating out, use a travel card to maximize rewards. For everything else, use a cashback card. The 6 commandments of credit cards are: pay off your credit card regularly, try to get fees on your cards waived, negotiate a lower APR, decide where the money to pay off your credit card will come from, and get started. Your savings account is where you deposit money. Your checking account is where you withdraw money. When choosing a bank, look for trust, convenience, and features. He actually has a whole chapter on picking the best bank for you. Sethi recommends Charles Schwab and Capital One as banks to consider, and Bank of America and Wells Fargo as banks to avoid. Alright, so now for one of the main parts of this book that made it all worth it. So these are the 6 systematic steps to investing. Sethi calls the ladder of personal finance. You must accomplish all these rungs in order to be well off financially. I really love all these rules. So let's start with number 1. If your employer offers a 401k match, invest to take full advantage of it and contribute just enough to get 100% of the match. I absolutely love this because you need to be doing this because it's basically free money that your employer is giving you. And if you're not getting it, you're missing out on a lot of money, especially as it gets invested over the years. Wrong number 2. Pay off your credit card and any other debt. If you have any debt, it's going to limit you in really limiting ways. You definitely want to get rid of debt as fast as possible because it is literally robbing you of your financial future. You do not want to be paying interest. You want to be receiving interest through a return of investment. Wrong number 3. Open up a Roth IRA and contribute as much as money as possible to it. You should ideally be maxing out your Roth IRA every single year. If you have money left over, go back to your 401k and contribute as much as possible to it. This will lower your income and put you in a lower tax bracket, so it's definitely a smart thing to do. So at this point, you're going to be out of debt, you're going to be maxing out your Roth IRA and your 401k. Wrong number 5. If you have access to a health savings account, HSA, it can also double as an investment account with incredible tax features few people know about. So I've actually been learning a lot about HSAs thanks to this book, and I'm definitely applying everything that I learned. Wrong number 6. If you still have money left to invest, open a regular non-retirement taxable investment account like a brokerage or Robinhood and put as much as possible there. So these are 6 essential strategies and rules that you need to be following in order to win the investing game. And I absolutely agree with every single one of these, and I am doing all of these myself. So now let's talk about creating a conscious spending plan. This is one of my biggest takeaways of this book as well. I absolutely really like this strategy. So you need to set up 4 buckets basically. Number 1 are fixed costs. This should be about 50 to 60% of take-home pay. So anything from cell phone bills or rent, mortgage, anything like that are fixed costs that will be the same every single month. Number 2 is investments, at least 10%. 3, saving goals 5 to 10%. Number 4, guilt-free spending money 20 to 35%. I absolutely love the guilt-free spending money bucket because many people don't even have an account for this, but you should have an account where you can just freely spend money on anything that makes you happy. That's the whole point of making money, and I like that this book points it out. It doesn't just try to make you as frugal as possible, which is a very bad way to live. You really don't know how much time you have in life, so you should be spending money to make you happy through guilt-free spending money. If you like coffee, if you like going out to eat to restaurants, if you like taking nice vacations, you definitely need to be spending a lot of money in these areas. To optimize your spendings, do an 80-20 analysis. Oftentimes, 80% of what you overspend is used towards only 20% of your expenditures. Then focus on 1 or 2 big problem areas and solve those instead of trying to cut the 5% out of a bunch of smaller areas. This section talks a little bit more about investing. So a lot of the times, whenever you make the most money when it comes down to investing is when everybody panic sells. So there's going to be times when everybody's selling from the market, and this is actually when you should be buying more. A lot of people find this very difficult to learn, but it makes a huge difference once you learn it. You should be buying when everyone is selling, and you shouldn't really sell, but if you want to maximize your profits, you should sell when everybody is buying. A major predictor of your portfolio's volatility doesn't stem from the individual stocks you pick, as most people think, but instead of your mix of stocks and bonds. Asset allocation is your plan for investing, the way you distribute the investment in your portfolio between stocks, bond, and cash. And then this last section just talks about the different strategies when it comes down to investing. It teaches you something very essential, that whenever you're young, you should be exposed to more stocks, which will equal higher risk but higher return. And then as soon as you start getting older, you should start incorporating more bonds into your investment portfolio, because bonds tend to be lower return but less risk. So it's more of a guaranteed safe way. That way your money will not go down in value dramatically as soon as you're getting closer to retirement, because the worst thing that can happen is you're ready to retire, and then because you're 100% invested into stocks, all of your portfolio goes from like $2 million to like $700,000, and you have way less money just because you were exposed to more stocks. So definitely know this and take on this strategy whenever it comes down to investing and as you start approaching the later years of your life. There is so much to learn from this book that I can't cover entirely in this video. But before I go, I do want to share this post by Ramit Sethi that sums up 10 rules of money that he tries to follow that would help you a lot financially. Always have 1 year of emergency fund in cash. Save 10 and invest 20% of gross income minimum. Pay cash for large expenses, engagement ring, wedding dream, honeymoon. 20% down minimum on a house. Number 4, never question spending money on books, appetizers, health, or donating to a friend's charity fundraiser. Business class or flights over 4 hours. No limit on spending for health, personal trainer, or education, courses, events. Buy the best and keep it for as long as possible instead of buying cheap. Number 9, marry the right person, which I think is kind of funny, but it is so true. Number 10, prioritize time outside the spreadsheet. So yeah, all of these are 10 rules that you need to be following in order to win financially. And I do want to share another major concept that I really liked about this book, and that is that you should be automating your basically your cash system or your financial system. So as soon as you get paid, you should be setting up for automation in your money. So basically, so whenever you get paid, you should allocate 10 to 20% to investments, and that should automatically be deducted from your checking account immediately. That way you do not touch the money. Then you should pay your credit card bills automatically. That way everything is basically automatic and you never have to worry about missing a payment or paying interest or not investing. And the thing I like about this the most is that if you take care of your investments, if you're investing your 401k, if you're investing your Roth IRA, if you're investing your HSA, if you're investing your brokerage, and you're paying all of your bills, everything is automatic. There is no question about anything not being paid in full. Then you're going to have so much emotional stress taking off from you. And since you're doing everything you're supposed to, you're paying your bills, you're paying your credit card bills, you're investing in everything that you need to be investing in, you're taking care of your future. Anything else, you can spend it on whatever you want. Even if it's as silly or dumb as you might call it, to spend on Starbucks or going out to eat at expensive restaurants, who cares? You're doing what you're supposed to. You should not be ashamed of spending your money in anything and whatever you want. In Pokemon cards, it doesn't matter. It is your money. You're taking care of your future. You're investing. You're paying your bills on time. There is no reason why you should not be enjoying your money. Life is too short to be worried about finances. So get it right the first time and just automate everything and focus, and everything else is going to be pretty easy going forward. This is the biggest takeaway from this book. And if you actually want to learn everything in detail, I highly recommend you to get the book. It will absolutely change your life and the way you think about your finances, your personal finances. And it's actually a very simple book. It doesn't talk about anything too complicated. Everyone should be able to learn and actually take action on everything that you learn. So I highly recommend it. You definitely need to try it out. Alright, so there we go. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. An amazing book that I highly recommend. It's been a while since I've read a book that's I would consider life-changing like this. So I highly recommend it. Let me know what you thought of the rules and everything that I discussed in today's video. Do you think this will be a book that you will learn? Something that will benefit your life? Let me know in the comment section down below. I really appreciate all of your support. Make sure you like this video. Leave me a comment down below. And also hit the red subscribe button. We make amazing financial videos to improve your financial life. Thank you for joining me in today's book review. We really appreciate all of your support. Like I said, like the video, comment down below, leave me a question down below, subscribe to the Flaming Prophets YouTube channel, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Peace.